Hello everyone, this is Satish Kumar. I am lecturer in Electronics and Communication Engineering working at Government Polytechnic, Masabtank, Hyderabad. We are discussing about analog communication subject. It is one of the important subjects of Diploma in Electronics and Communication Engineering in Telangana state, and this subject is in 3rd semester. In analog communication, there are totally 6 chapters, out of which we completed 3 chapters. Basics of communication and noise is the first chapter. Analog modulation techniques is the second chapter. Transmitters and receivers is the third chapter. Now we are dealing with 4th chapter, wave propagation. In wave propagation, we covered properties of EM waves, power density, electric field intensity, power density and electric field intensity calculations, polarization of EM waves, vertical and horizontal polarization, and different characteristic impedance of free space, and properties of EM waves, reflection, refraction, diffraction and interference, and different types of wave propagation methods: ground wave propagation, sky wave propagation, different layers in ionosphere, and terms related to sky wave propagation. They are critical frequency, MUF, skip distance and virtual height. And space wave propagation, and the term line of sight and expression for line of sight. Now we are going to discuss about methods of diversity to reduce fading effect. Fading already we discussed what is fading. Variations in the signal strength of the received signal at the receiver because of multiple paths. There is a transmitter, so there is a transmitter and there is a receiver. There is a transmitter, and there is a transmitter, and there is a receiver, and this is ground, and here it is having antenna, there is also antenna, because we are dealing with wireless communication. So the wave which is transmitted from the transmitter and radiated towards the receiver will come in 2 ways. One is direct path, other one is ground reflected path also. As the distance for direct wave is less compared to the distance for ground reflected wave is more. When the distance increases, the phase angle also increase. So this is path difference will lead to phase difference. When these 2 waves are in aiding fashion, the signal strength received at the receiver will be increasing. When the phase angle of this wave is exactly 180 degrees out of phase with the phase angle of the direct wave, then those 2 waves will be subtracted and you won't get any signal at the receiver, right? So because of multiple paths, the receiver will receive many signals like direct path, other one is ground reflected path, and because of multiple paths, sometimes the signal strength received the receiver becomes more, sometimes less, sometimes medium. So that is why the signal received the receiver varies continuously. To overcome this effect is called fading. To overcome this fading, there are many methods. Those methods are called diversity methods. Frequent diversity methods. There are two diversity methods. One is space diversity, second one is frequency diversity. In communication receivers, diversity reception is used to avoid fading. Diversity reception system make use of the fact that although fading may be severe at some instances of time, some frequency at some point on earth, it is not likely that the signal at different points or different frequencies will be fed simultaneously. Okay. So diversity may be because of received signal strength variations, but some frequency at some point on earth, it is not likely that the signals of different points or different frequencies will be fed simultaneously. If you send from different points, if you send with different frequencies, those frequencies or those signals will not be fed simultaneously. That is why, so we will be making use of a concept called space diversity and frequency diversity. So these are also known as double diversity systems. Space diversity is method of diversity. In this method, two or more receiving antennas which are separated by 9 or more wavelengths are implied. There are as many receivers as antennas. Arrangements are made in such a way to ensure that the AGC of the receiver with the strongest signal at the moment cuts off the other receiver. Thus, only the signal from the strongest receiver is passed to the common output stages. In this way, the effect of fading is eliminated. Right, in space diversity, we are making use of space, and where many antennas are. Let us suppose this is the earth. And this is one transmitter, okay, and this is one receiver. And instead of using one transmitter and one antenna, we are making use of many antennas. This is one antenna, this is other antenna, this is one more antenna, right? So these three antennas are generating same signal like this, right? At the receiver, there is an intelligent device which takes these three signals, and it is able to detect the strongest signal out of these three signals, and it passes the strongest signal towards the receiver common stages and cuts all the weakest signals. Okay. So instead of adding all these signals or vector sum of these signals into receiver, these three signals are not added, only one strongest signal will be taken into the receiver and it will be fed to the common stages. So for that, there are many antennas are employed at the receiver also, right? It's called space diversity. So for space diversity method, we need to erect many antennas. The second method is frequency diversity. Frequency works in much the same way as the space diversity. But now the same antenna is used for all the frequencies. It works with simultaneous transmission at two or more frequencies. So frequency diversity is used only where space diversity cannot be employed, such as in restricted spaces where receiving antennas could not have been separated sufficiently. And one more important parameter of space diversity is The antennas which are used at the receiver or transmitter should be separated by one or more wavelengths. They should not be co-located, they should not be nearer to each other. So, in frequency diversity, a single antenna will radiate same message at different frequencies. So, we are diversifying different frequencies or different modulating frequencies. These different frequencies are working as carriers and they transmit the same message, and finally the receiver is able to detect strongest signal and eliminate weakest signals. And this frequency diversity method is used for ship to shore and ship to ship communication, and it is used in restricted places where space is limited and more antennas cannot be erected and cannot be separated with one or more wavelengths. And there are two more propagations. One is duct propagation, other one is tropospheric scatter propagation. Till now we discussed three types of propagations: ground wave propagation, sky wave propagation and space wave propagation. In ground wave propagation, the EM waves coming out of the transmitter in the range of 2 to 3 megahertz will be gliding over the earth because of the earth reflections. Earth is a good reflector for the EM waves, and finally those waves will be taking many reflections over the earth, and finally they reach receiver. And here earth surface is acting like a guiding medium, and earth will not absorb the EM waves up to 3 megahertz. And when the transmitted power is very high and the range will be increased, this is suitable for medium frequency band. And the limitation of Earth's ground wave propagation is tilting. As the Earth is in curved fashion, the EM waves which are transmitted by the transmitter using ground wave propagation, those waves will be bent slowly. That means the waves are having electric field vector, those electric field vector will be bent rather than vertical in fashion, because in ground wave propagation vertically polarized antennas are used, and those vertically polarized antennas radiates vertically polarized waves, which are these vertically polarized waves are having electric field vector as perpendicular to earth. When the waves are guided through the earth surface, because of curvature of the earth, the wave slowly bends. Sometimes the electric field vector becomes parallel to the earth. When it is parallel to the earth, it will be short circuited. If one of the field of EM wave short circuited, the magnetic field vector will be disappeared, hence the communication becomes failed. So the tilting of electric field vector is one of the drawback of ground wave propagation. In case of sky wave propagation, the signals to be transmitted are not transmitted directly, but they are transmitted indirectly. So the transmitter transmits signals towards the ionosphere, and ionosphere will take the signal and the ionosphere will reflect the signal towards the receiver side. Here ionosphere is acting like good reflector for EM waves. Here ionosphere is the one of the spheres in the earth atmosphere, and which is the outer atmospheric layers sphere, in which many ionized layers are formed already because of sun radiation, and because of variations in the densities of ionized layers, the waves will be bent slowly. Finally they will be reflected back towards the earth. And the advantage of ionospheric propagation is the coverage is large. It is minimum coverage 4000 kilometers, but the disadvantage is it is not suitable for short distance communication, because the waves that are reflected by the earth atmosphere are far away from the transmitter, that is the skip distance. It is also called as ionospheric propagation or skywave propagation. The frequency range is used as 3 MHz to 30 MHz. Space wave propagation. In space wave propagation, it is also known as direct wave propagation. In this, the antennas of transmitter and receiver should see electrically to each other, that is the transmitter and receiver on the same line of transmission and reception. Hence, this is also called as line of sight communication. The transmitter should be able to see the receiver straightly. If there are obstacles in between transmitters and receiver, it fails. The advantage is it is very simple and more efficient, while the disadvantage is limited coverage. The examples or applications of space wave propagation is your FM radio, television, as well as your mobile communication also. So, in addition to these three propagation, there is one more propagation called duct propagation. Microwave frequencies are neither propagated along the surface nor reflected by the ionosphere. So, the microwave frequencies, because those are highest frequencies whose frequency is above 1 GHz, hence those will not be sent through the ground or those will not be reflected by the ionosphere, because ionosphere is limited to 3 MHz, whereas 30 MHz, whereas ground wave communication fails at 2 MHz. But in the troposphere region, micro frequencies are refracted and transmission takes place far beyond the line of sight. This is possible because new phenomena called super refraction or ducting. In troposphere region, because of a surprising principle, the communication for micros is possible because of super refraction concept that exists in troposphere only. This is also called as duct propagation. So, if you look at the diagram of duct propagation, a duct is formed naturally because of variations in the temperatures of Earth atmosphere. When the wave enters into the duct, the waves are trapped inside the duct, and finally the waves will not escape from the duct and they will be touching the ground and going towards the upper layer of duct, and finally they will be reflected back towards the ground. Because of these multiple reflections, the EM waves will be refracted, super refracted, many times they are refracted. So, it is acting like a pipe, confined pipe. So, here you can see when a wave enters into the duct from the ground, they will be reflected back toward the ground and ground will reflect once again EM waves. In this way, the waves will be trapped and finally they reach receiver. The region of troposphere in which super refraction occurs is termed as duct. Where super refraction occurs, that region is known as duct. In general, air density decreases and refractive index increases when height increases from the ground. You go far away from the ground towards the sky, the air density decreases, that air becomes cool and refractive index increases. The change in refractive index is normally linear and gradual, but under certain atmospheric conditions, a layer of warm air may be trapped above the cooler air. Because of certain conditions, warm layer is above the cooler air. The result is that refractive index will decrease rather than increase. Actually, refractive index should increase when you go away from the earth, when height of the altitude increases, but because of certain conditions, that is refractive index will be decreasing rapidly with height than usual. This happens near the ground, often within the height of 30 meters. This phenomenon is called temperature inversion. So, when you go away, temperature will be decreasing, temperature will be increasing because of this duct is formed. The rapid reduction in the refractive index in troposphere will do microwaves. What the slower reduction of refractive ionosphere layers? Ionosphere layers, the reduction of microwave index is very less, whereas here increased refractive index is very fastly it is decreased. In ionosphere, the refractive index decreases slowly, whereas because of duct formation, the refractive index decreases rapidly. Then, because of rapid decrement in the refractive index, bending of EM waves occurs completely, and for this microwave range is compulsory. Hence, the microwaves are thus continuously reflected in the duct and reflected by the ground. This phenomena is called as super refraction or duct propagation. In this way, microwaves propagate around the curvature of the earth in the form of series of hops with successive reflections from the earth. This is one hop, this is other hop, this is other hop, right? Duct propagation. The next propagation is here. Last propagation is tropospheric scatter propagation. Tropospheric propagation is similar to here once again duct, but it is somewhat different. A volume is formed above the earth in the troposphere, and this volume will reflect the EM waves, not all the EM, some particular EM, which is also known as forward scatter propagation or scatter propagation or simply troposcatter propagation. Troposcatter communication (TSC). It is used for beyond the origin propagation for UHF signal. It is very reliable method for over the origin communication for the UHF. It uses properties of ionosphere for the propagation of waves. The principle of troposphere is shown in the figure. The waves when enter the troposphere may scatter in different directions. This may be due to fluctuations and irregularities in the refractive index. Atmosphere. At greater heights, scattering is negligible due to extremely low density of air. Shown in figure 4.18, some waves come back towards the earth called backscatter, while some are lost and undesired direction called lost scatter. The part which is reaching the receiving end is called forward scatter, placed symmetrically opposite on the other side of origin. So, this tropospheric volume, a scatter volume is created because of irregularities in the atmospheric refractive index in the atmosphere. A volume is created, something like ionosphere, which reflects the EM waves when they hit the volume. So, when a transmitting antenna is installed here and receiving antenna is here, when the EM waves are transmitted towards the troposcatter volume, they will be reflected towards other points on the earth towards the receiver. Some of the points, some of the waves are reflected back towards the transmitter. Those are called back scatter. Some EM waves are not instanting on the volume and they are going away from the volume. Those are called no scatter. And some waves are lost and some waves are reflected towards the receiver. Those are called forward scatter. This is your scatter volume. Some waves come back towards the earth called backscatter. Some are lost in undesired direction called lost scatter. A part is also reaches the receiving end called forward scatter. For tropospheric communication, the frequency used are 250 megahertz to 5 gigahertz, and also 900 megahertz, 2 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz also. So these are the frequencies used for troposcatter propagation. With this, this chapter is completed, that is wave propagation. The next chapter is antennas. So we will see antennas in the next class. Basically, what is antenna? The fifth chapter now we are going to discuss is antennas. Antenna is also called as a radiating body or aerial. The working principle of antenna is very simple: Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. When EM wave, when current flows through a conductor, a field will be set up. When field cuts the conductor, a voltage will be developed in it. Similarly, when electrical signal is given to a conductor, current passes through the conductor. If it is okay. If the frequency of the signal is very less, the electrical energy is transferred from one point to other point through the conductor at the center or core of the conductor. When the frequency of the electrical signal is increased to a higher value, the electrical energy travels through the skin or the outer layer of the conductor rather than center of the conductor. If frequency is increased further and the antenna lengths are designed such that they are comparable with the wavelength of the signal will not be passed through the conductor, rather it radiates into the air also. So in this way the antenna will work. Let us see what is there in antennas. Antenna principle, radiation pattern, isotropic antenna. What is its radiation pattern? Elementary doublet, half wave dipole. Its radiation pattern, power gain, directivity, beamwidth, radiation distance, and front to back ratio of the antenna. Terms: antenna impedance and polarization. Need for the folded dipole. Concept of grounding. Antenna array need. Broadside identifier array, rhombic antenna, Yagi-Uda antenna, turnstile antenna, binomial array, parabolic reflector, and different feed arrangements. Horn and loop antenna, helical antenna, mobile antenna, DTH antenna, dish antenna. Principle of antenna. Metallic device used for radiating or receiving radio waves is called antenna. Antenna is also called as aerial. Consists of metallic conductors typically connected to receiver. is connected directly to the receiver or transmitter. An oscillating current of electrons forced through the antenna will create an oscillating magnetic field around the antenna elements, while the charge of electrons also creates oscillating electric field along the elements. Time varying fields radiate away from the antenna into space as a moving transverse electromagnetic field. Similarly, Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. The antenna, while acting as receiving and being a conductor, intercepts the electromagnetic wave which is available in its near vicinity. The voltage induced due to this interaction is coupled to the front end of the receiver circuit. Thus, it acts as a matching device between the radiated field and the front end of receiver. Radiation pattern, front lobes, side lobes, inner lobe, major lobe, back lobe. Isotropic antenna, its radiation pattern, elementary doublet, half wave dipole, radiation pattern, three-dimensional radiation pattern of half wave dipole. Dipole, how to make half-wave dipole. Some problems on half-wave dipole in terms related to antenna: directivity, power gain, beam width, radiation resistance, front to back ratio. Power gain, these are the units terms you should define also. And these are other terms: antenna impedance and polarization, power gain, antenna resistance, front to back ratio, directivity, beam width, bandwidth. In addition to those terms, there are other terms: antenna impedance and polarization. Need of folded dipole. Need of antenna array. Broadside array, end fire array. Arrangement of broadside array, end fire array. Rhombic antenna in the form of rhombus shape construction. Yagi-Wood antenna is very important. It's working. Turnstile antenna, After transtile antenna, their applications: binomial array, parabolic reflector, different methods of parabolic feeding, radiation pattern, different feed arrangements for radiation pattern of radiation of parabolic reflector. This is quite popularly used for microwave and DTH dish TV Cassegrain feed. Set method, working of horn and loop antenna, horn and loop. Horn antenna, loop antenna, these are different antennas we should read. Helical antenna, mobile antenna, that is your microstrip antenna. Types of microstrip antennas: DTH antenna, parabolic reflector. Its geometry, operation of DTH antenna, applications of dish antenna. About your antennas. So, I'll revise wave propagation. In wave propagation, we covered what is EM wave propagation, that is transverse electric TEM wave, this is called transverse electric magnetic wave, that is magnetic field and electric field both are perpendicular to each other, and these two are perpendicular to direction of propagation, hence it is transverse. Transverse means mutually perpendicular to each other. Frequency bands, absorption, attenuation. Attenuation is because of number of waves per area decreases when the EM waves travels for distance, whereas absorption, some particles in the atmosphere absorb the energy. These two will create loss. Electric field volts per meter, power density watt per meters, kilometer square. Magnetic field intensity H, ampere per meter. E cross H is the power density. Amount of power radiator per surface area of a sphere, inverse square law, Pt by 4 pi r square. And electric field intensity is calculated by using power formula, and first initially power is equal to E square Z, where Z is equal to 120 pi and E is equal to Pz under root, and Pt you know, P is a Pt 4 pi r square 20 pi and under root 30 Pt. polarization, electrical orientation or electrical orientation of electric field vector of a EM wave with reference to earth surface is called polarization. If it is vertical, it is vertical polarization. If it is horizontal, it is horizontal polarization. These two are linear. Linear means they won't change the direction. They have same alignment throughout the propagation path. Characteristic impedance. These are some of the properties of EMFs: reflection, bending back towards the same medium, refraction, bending slowly, diffraction, spreading over, interference, absorbing. Multiple paths EMFs will take when they are transmitted from transmitter, and the signal strength reduces. Methods of propagation: ground wave, sky wave, space wave, duct propagation, tropospheric scatter propagation. These are the different methods. This is sky wave, this is ground wave, and this is your space wave. Ground wave, sky wave, layers in sky wave, layer F, layer F1, F2 layer. Critical frequency is the maximum highest frequency for a layer. Skip distance is the distance of initial touch point. Fixed frequency while touching the earth. Virtual height coming from a reflector rather than bending. Maximum visible frequency, MUF. Space wave propagation. It is also known as direct wave propagation. Line of sight. Mobile communication is also line of sight, but by using diffraction, multiple path reflection, local repeaters also they are using. Additional technologies will overcome the problem of curvature of earth. Line of sight always formula D is equal to under root HT plus under root HR into 4, because line of sight, the distance transmitted from the transmitter to the origin and the origin to the receiver, it depends on height of antenna. The height of antenna is large, it can cover larger area also. And fading is a concept which is nothing but variation in the strength of the signal at the receiver. To overcome fading, space diversity is used. Many antennas are erected, and many antennas are erected at the receiver. The strongest signal received by the antenna will be passed and remaining are cut. Frequency diversity, in which same message is transmitted through different frequencies. The strongest signal received by the receiver will be passed, remaining will be cut. Duct is formed over in the temperature because of temperature inversion. Warm layer is dropped on the cool layer, and this will form like a small ionosphere and will reflect the EM waves when they enter into the duct. And once again those waves are reflected by the earth, because earth is a reflector for EM waves, since form like a duct. And tropospheric scatter propagation is also like ionosphere propagation, but a tropospheric volume is created at certain conditions. Some waves enter into the tropospheric volume and they will be reflected toward the receiving point, called forward scatter. When they pass through the layer of the or outermost layer of the volume, no scattering will occur. When they pass in opposite direction, those are called loss scatter. When the waves are coming towards the earth, it's called back scatter. These are the things in These are the topics in wave propagation. So finally, in wave propagation covers different methods of wave propagation: space, ground, sky, troposphere, scatter, as well as some important terms related to wave propagation. So with this I will stop. Thank you. Have a nice day.